every day until we find Summer Wells. We will have specialized search teams, whether it be canine, specialized man tracking, USAR teams that we've already utilized to go back into these areas. Once we get a lot of these people out, it may make this area calm down a little bit, but we will have people in the Beech Creek community from one end to the other, working tirelessly day in and day out, be able to keep fresh crews coming in and still continue to search until we find Summer Wells.
Farmer come out here to build with.
Right now, everything is still on the table. We're still trying to find out what happened to Summer. So everybody's still a person of interest. We're still looking at help from the landowners too, to go back and check their trail cameras, their security cameras every day, especially around the time that she disappeared, because we never know who was going to be in that area, and we're still looking for a red Toyota truck. And everything that we do is trying to put a piece of the puzzle together to find Summer. And it may not be something that mean anything to the people. It may mean everything to us.
Typically on an Amber Alert, and the ones that I've been involved in since I have been over this program, within a couple of days, we have a tip or lead or have an idea if they've been abducted, if they may be left into the woods. Somebody saw something that leads us hopefully to get an answer to where the child went or if they were taken. We're going to have some tip or lead. And that is the frustrating part for law enforcement in this case and for the public. We will continue to investigate and search for Summer. In the public side, there may not be as much media attention given to this case, but that does not mean that we stop what we're doing. We will continue to use every resource we have that we can utilize to try to find Summer.
I'm Leslie Earhart with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. We thought we would take a few minutes to update you on the search for 5-year-old Summer Wells. As you know, she was reported missing from her home on Ben Hill Road in Hawkins County on June 15th. Unfortunately, there's still more questions than answers, but we haven't given up, and we won't. Agents and detectives with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office continue to work daily to determine what happened to Summer.
But we're still looking, we're still searching, we're still following tips. And one thing that we need to do is preserve the integrity of this case, because we can't tell everything we're doing. We can't tell everything we know. And a lot of stuff that we get called on, we've already done several times.
We want to urge you only to share information from official sources. The misinformation and speculation simply don't help the case. Our teams continue to sift through hundreds of tips, and it turns out most of them are rooted in rumors and bad information spread on social media.
That causes us confusion with all the tips that we get and we're going through. A lot of it is coming off of social media. And what we want to do is get more tips that we can rely on to help us find Summer. And that's our whole goal, is to find Summer.
We appreciate your partnership and ongoing interest in the search for Summer. Please know, as much as you want answers, we want them more. We ask that you understand that our priority has to be figuring out what happened to her. And as Sheriff Lawson mentioned, In order to preserve the integrity of the case, that might mean we cannot share everything we know. Stay connected with TBI on social media for ongoing updates. I'm Leslie Earhart with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. 6 months ago, 5-year-old Summer Wells was reported missing from her home on Ben Hill Road in Hawkins County. The case remains unsolved and weighs heavily on those working to find answers. Today, the investigation remains active and ongoing as TBI agents work alongside the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office and the FBI to determine what happened to Summer. Investigators have executed numerous search warrants, collecting all potential evidence. We've spoken with anyone and everyone associated with the Wells family, in some cases more than once. This includes neighbors, acquaintances, and those working in the area the day she disappeared. We've used a plane, helicopters, divers, canines, and every resource available to us during search efforts. Despite the countless hours of tireless work, the circumstances surrounding her disappearance remain unclear. At this time, there is no evidence that she was abducted. However, all avenues continue to be explored, including foul play and the very real possibility that she wandered off and became lost in the mountainous and rough terrain surrounding her home. We are asking anyone who saw Summer at any time on Tuesday, June 15th to come forward if they haven't done so already. We appreciate the public's ongoing interest in this case and urge anyone with credible information to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Since the 5-year-old vanished from her Northeast Tennessee home. Flying into Tennessee, we weren't sure what to expect. Summer Wells has been missing for 5 months. No new leads and basically no new information since the 5-year-old vanished from her Northeast Tennessee home.
They can't find her. They've been yelling for her. She's been gone for about 10 minutes now.
Summer's been missing since June 15th, and there are definitely some people who are not happy that we've come here to dig into the case. Some people on social media basically just telling us to stay away. But there are still so many unanswered questions about where Summer is.
It's now been 5 months since Summer Wells disappeared. Do your investigators know anything more now than they did 5 months ago?
We really don't know anything more, but everything's still on the table.
Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson is in charge of the investigation.
Everybody that's involved in this case is a person of interest. We've not ruled anyone out.
Summer's dad, Don Wells, agreed to meet with us. We talked to him on the edge of his property where Summer disappeared.
What do you think happened? What does your heart tell you?
Well, I know in my heart and in my mind she was abducted. Someone snuck up there when we weren't exactly paying attention, and we don't know if they come in the basement and grabbed her, or if she stepped outside the basement and was walking to her swing or something.
You can see the Wells house up through the trees on the hill right here. Summer was home with her mom, Candace. Her younger brothers and her grandmother was also on the property. And what the family thinks happened is that someone took Summer, brought her down this steep embankment to possibly a car that was waiting in the roadway.
And I said, boys, where's your sister at? Well, she just went downstairs, Mom, to play. So I went over here like this.
Summer's mom, Candace, allowed podcaster Chris McDonough with the interview room into her home in July.
Is this how I would get down here?
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if you want to come down here or not.
They went downstairs in the cluttered house and into Summer's bedroom.
But this is where Summer and little Waylon was.
This is the back door Summer may have disappeared through.
But I know I did come out here and I said, Summer, because sometimes she'll sit right here.
Do you think Candace would speak with me?
I don't know. I mean, we had to beg her, you know, to please go on Dr. Phil, because she's just so been burnt thousands of times by people. So that's why she don't want to talk to nobody, and she didn't want to go on Dr. Phil. That's why she was getting upset. Because of the way the YouTubers and other people have turned on her, they've just ruined her.
Very sorry for the occasion.
The Wells were on Dr. Phil last week, and at one point, Candace walked off.
I'm being interrogated again, and I don't want to do this anymore. Yes, I am.
We'll stop. I want you to feel comfortable.
No, I want to go home.
I'm down.
Questions have come up about what Candace might know.
Could she have gotten herself into a situation where it wasn't her fault, but...
No.
You know what I mean?
No. She's a good mother. She loves her children. She's not going to allow any situation like that. The biggest mistake she might have made is maybe choosing some wrong friends, which is, it happens. But other than that, no way.
Do you think any of those wrong friends could have something to do with it?
We don't know.
I know you all have had some ups and downs in your past with alcohol and drugs. Do you think one of those people that came around could have?
No, we can't go there.
Wells says he's limited in what he can say after social services took Summer's 3 brothers from the home earlier this year.
Would you mind just quickly maybe taking us for a little drive around? Just me,
sure.
Even, just so I can. I know you don't want me up there walking around, but maybe you could just drive me around.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Sir, thank you,
I appreciate
guys.
it. Thank you.
You guys.
He initially agreed to take me on the property, but then changed his mind. He says he wants the focus to remain on Summer and finding whoever took her.
We love our daughter with all our hearts. We miss her. We'd do anything to have her back in that church with us that she so loves.
The sheriff says the Wells are cooperating, but that there's no evidence at this point that Summer was kidnapped or abducted.
Is it possible that Summer's parents, Candace and Dawn, had something to do with this, or have you ruled that out?
We haven't ruled anything out. Everything's possible.
And right now, detectives say they are looking for a red or maroon pickup truck that may have been in the area around the time that Summer Wells went missing. But even the sheriff today said they have no confirmation that the truck was actually there. They're not even for sure it is definitely connected. There are so many pieces of this puzzle they just haven't figured out yet. But another interesting thing, Marnie, he did confirm for me today that both of Summer's parents did pass a polygraph test.
Which is something I know a lot of people have wondered. Brian, the sheriff says everything is on the table. Everyone is a person of interest. They are not ruling anything out. So one theory out there is this thing called the cornbread mafia that we're seeing a lot on social media. What is it? What's the sheriff saying?
So the cornbread mafia is sort of rumored to be this underground mafia network in this area of drug dealers and people who pass drugs around and that kind of a thing. The sheriff says he's not totally aware of it. The Wells family says they had never even heard of it. But what was interesting on Dr. Phil is when it was brought up, that is what sparked Candace Wells to have that emotional moment and walk off screen.